about Tyla because I don't want to bring attention to it because I know what they're doing to her. But when you think about the lyrics of that song, Water, and you think about her core fan base, which are girls between the age of 7 and 17. Can you blow my mind and set off my whole body? Make me sweat, make me hotter, make me lose my breath, make me water. Why the f would that be coming out of 8-year-old's mouth? And dancing and gyrating and trying to get a bump, bump, bump. Because that's all those kids that are watching her are doing. That's all they're doing. They're going to imitate everything that she does. Meanwhile, the local pedo who has a kid with friends with a bunch of girls, 9, 10, 11 years old, inviting the girls over for pizza and to watch Tyla videos.
Tyla's rise to global fame was painted like a fairy tale, the story of a South African girl who went viral off a TikTok dance and suddenly became a worldwide sensation. But as the dust settles, cracks in her carefully constructed image are beginning to show, and what's being revealed is darker and more twisted than anyone could have imagined. Because baby, Jaguar Wright just spilled tea that makes the whole industry narrative around Tyla look like a staged performance with sinister undertones. She claims Tyla isn't just another industry plant, she's an industry pawn being used to push dangerous messaging onto kids. And now that the truth is leaking out, the facade is collapsing around her. Before we get into the shocking rumors of contracts, exploitation, and even possible deportation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments because trust me, this story is going to leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Tyla's come-up.
They used your image.
I've never even spoken about her, positively or negatively. And there's a reason why. I don't believe in what they're doing to her. I don't believe in what they're doing with her. She doesn't look a day over 14 years old, and she's one of the most highly sexualized female figures on media today. You never see her fully dressed. She's always half naked. We always have to see her skin. We always have to see her body. And as talented as she is, can't be more demure. South Africa doesn't mean that every woman from South Africa is running around in loincloth, gyrating her genitalia and her ass every time.
The first red flag that started people talking wasn't some deep conspiracy, it was simply Numbers' her debut EP, We Want to Party, pulled in a measly 3.7 Kelvin first-week sales. For an artist who had a billion-streamed song, a Grammy win, and the entire industry machinery behind her, this flop was catastrophic. Fans couldn't believe that someone so heavily pushed could produce such little impact, and the internet wasted no time roasting her. People were calling her career finished and branding her the flop of the year. Some Black American audiences went even further, openly declaring that Tyla never resonated with them in the first place. And that's where this story gets layered with racial and cultural tension, because Tyla's identity crisis and her refusal to own up to it became the perfect storm for her downfall. See, the backlash goes back to when Tyla proudly said she wasn't black, but colored. Now, in South Africa, that term has cultural meaning, used to describe mixed-race people during apartheid. But in America, colored is a word drenched in the pain of segregation and systemic racism. So when Tyla casually used it, she opened a can of worms she couldn't close. Instead of apologizing or clarifying with humility, she doubled down.
Miss Tyla girl thought she was bigger than the program, and her EP flopped. It flopped by a long shot. She sold less than 4K units in the United States. I don't know what she did in South Africa, but it flopped over here. Everybody knows what went wrong with Tyla, okay? I understand that in South Africa, they refer to themselves as colored, but as you enter into a new market, you are trying to, enter into Black American culture, it's the Black music industry, and market to us, you do kind of have to assimilate in some ways. You do have to learn the culture so that you can be a part of it, so that you can thrive in it. You do have to respect it. And when people told her that language does not work over here, she doubled down. And it's like, we get that y'all use that over there, but we're saying, if you want to make it, your music to make it here, you can't, that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it.
Having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean? Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too. I like when they talk from the back and say we can't I like that. I like the character. That's good. That's even better. All right, Tyla.
Wasn't that bad, was it? No?
No.
She even had a chance to address it head-on during her Breakfast Club interview, a platform that could have built a bridge between her and Black American listeners. But instead, she brushed off questions, refused to engage, and came off as arrogant and dismissive. People called her snobby, entitled, and out of touch, and it planted a seed of resentment that would grow when her sales tanked. But the true explosion of controversy came when Jaguar Wright entered the conversation. Because Jaguar didn't just say Tyla was flopping, she said Tyla was manufactured. According to Jaguar, Tyla was deliberately packaged to appeal to young girls, while simultaneously sexualizing her image to lure in both kids and predatory men. Jaguar pointed to Tyla's breakout hit Water, a track that on the surface is catchy and fun, but if you really listen to the lyrics, they're undeniably explicit. Lines like, "Make me sweat, make me hotter, make me water" are being repeated by girls as young as 7 years old on TikTok, dancing and singing along without realizing the adult context. Jaguar said this isn't accidental, it's by design, and if you think about it, she's not wrong. Why would the industry push a song with those kinds of lyrics directly to a child-heavy audience? That's not coincidence, that's a strategy. Jaguar went even further, claiming that Tyla's physical image was carefully chosen because she has the body of a 4-year-old. She said this makes Tyla not only relatable to preteen girls, but also fetishized by older men who see her as the perfect vessel for both exploitation and control. Jaguar bluntly called her an industry slave, saying that the same machine that built her up would discard her once her usefulness ran dry, much like what happened to Aaliyah. Jaguar pointed out how Tyla is rarely fully dressed, constantly presented in crop tops, skin-bearing outfits, and suggestive poses, even though she's talented enough to stand on her voice alone. It's almost as if the industry doesn't want her to be respected as a singer, they want her to be consumed as an image, a fantasy. That's when people started connecting dots, remembering how Kanye once ranted about demonic contracts, forcing artists into disturbing roles. Back then, he was dismissed as crazy, but Jaguar's claims make it sound eerily possible. The parallels with other artists are hard to ignore. Look at how Lil Nas X was handled, launched through TikTok, showered with Grammys, pushed into controversy, and then abandoned by the machine once the buzz faded. Tyla's career trajectory is alarmingly similar. She came up off TikTok, won a Grammy for Water, became the industry's darling, and now with her first flop, the whispers are that her time is almost up. Some fans are even speculating that the rumors of deportation could be true. Since her US residency is tied to her music career, if she's no longer profitable, what reason would there be to keep her here? The idea of Tyla being shipped back to South Africa after being chewed up and spat out by the industry feels cruel, but also entirely in line with how disposable stars have always been. What makes this whole saga even more chilling are the connections being drawn between Tyla and powerful figures like Clive Davis. Jaguar and fans alike pointed out how Tyla has been spotted around him, and for those who know the dark stories of what Clive allegedly did to artists under his wing, alarm bells went off immediately. Fans even linked Tyla's situation to Diddy, with some saying Clive's influence was a major factor in Diddy's broken state. If Tyla is in those same circles, it adds another layer of darkness to her story. People in comment sections have openly admitted they feel uneasy singing her lyrics, calling them dangerous mantras. One fan even said, "Love Tyla, but Jag is right. I refuse to sing the lyrics. Can you snatch my soul?" That's a dangerous mantra to recite. It's the kind of eerie foreshadowing that makes you question whether Jaguar's claims about industry contracts designed to destroy innocence might hold more truth than anyone wants to admit. What's wild is that while all this drama unfolds, Tyla herself seems oddly disconnected from the storm. She finally gave a longer explanation about her colored identity, insisting she's both black and colored, and that people in the US just don't understand South African history. She said she's done explaining herself to people who choose not to listen. And while her words might have been genuine to her, they only deepened the divide between her and the Black American audience that feels rejected by her stance. Add in her dismissive tone during interviews, and it paints a picture of an artist more concerned with image than building bridges. That aloofness might have worked when she was on top, but now that her career is on shaky ground, it's giving fans even more reason to walk away. Meanwhile, critics say this is exactly what the industry wanted. They build artists who are divisive, who stir controversy, who sexualize innocence, and then they abandon them when they've extracted all the money they can. Jaguar's warning that Tyla is disposable like Aaliyah was is haunting because it reminds us that the industry has always had a dark side. Stars are treated like pawns, and once the game is over, they're removed from the board. Tyla may have been chosen not for her talent, but for her ability to appeal to certain demographics in a sinister way. And now that her first flop has arrived, the whispers are that her usefulness has expired. The most chilling part is the idea that Tyla's career wasn't hers to begin with. It was a plot, a failed plot at that. Her flop exposed the fragility of her manufactured image, and Jaguar's claims peeled back the curtain on the industry's dirty game. Whether or not you believe every detail, there's no denying that something about Tyla's rise and fall feels off. No artist goes from a billion-stream hit and a Grammy to a 3.7 Kelvin debut without something strange happening behind the scenes. It's too sharp a fall, too dramatic a shift, and it leaves fans wondering if Jaguar's claims about her being used to poison young audiences could actually be true. And let's not forget the fans themselves are now part of the story. Social media has become a courtroom where Tyla is being tried daily. Some people defend her, saying she's just misunderstood and caught between cultures. Others say she's a willing participant in the industry's agenda, knowing full well the kind of lyrics she's putting out to her underage fanbase. Then there are those who just see her as another cautionary tale, a reminder that fame can be the most dangerous contract of all. The debate over Tyla's identity, her music, and her place in the industry has made her less of an artist and more of a controversy, and that's a position few can survive for long. Now, here's the kicker. While Tyla's story may seem unique, it's part of a larger pattern. The industry has always thrived on controversy, exploitation, and control. Jaguar Wright's warning might sound extreme, but history has shown us time and time again that young artists, especially women, are often thrown into the spotlight, not for their protection, but for their profitability. If Tyla's already being compared to Aaliyah, if she's already being linked to Clive Davis, and if her flop has sparked rumors of deportation, then maybe this isn't just gossip, it's a cycle repeating itself in plain sight. And the question we have to ask is whether Tyla will survive it or become yet another name on the long list of stars who were built up, used, and destroyed. What do you think? Was Tyla's flop just bad timing and cultural misunderstanding, or is Jaguar Wright right about something darker going on behind the scenes? Because the way things are playing out, Tyla's once unstoppable career looks like it's already hanging by a thread, and the industry that made her a star might just be the same machine preparing to erase her. And if you think the drama ends here, think again, because there's also the rumor mill buzzing about how Tyla's team may already be pulling away from her. Insiders whisper that once the flop numbers came out, meetings behind closed doors became tense, and talk of rebranding or even shelving her entirely started circulating. It's the oldest trick in the book. Labels don't take accountability, they just move on to the next shiny project. The fact that Tyla's name is already being thrown into conversations about deportation only adds to the theory that her supposed global stardom was never secure in the first place. Some fans are even calling it karma, saying she distanced herself from Black American audiences only to find herself abandoned when she needed them most. Others believe she's simply another casualty in a rigged game where artists are disposable and image matters more than talent. Whether you see her as complicit or as a victim, one thing is certain: Tyla's career is now at a crossroads, and the next move she makes will decide whether she rises from the ashes or gets permanently erased from the spotlight. And let's not forget how quickly public opinion can shift in this era of viral culture. One day you're the golden child of TikTok, and the next you're the subject of brutal think pieces, memes, and cancel campaigns. Tyla may be talented, but talent has never been enough in an industry where perception is king. If people believe she's an industry plant, if they believe she's being used to corrupt young minds, and if they believe she doesn't respect the cultural lines of the US, then her career might be finished before it truly began. The haunting part is that this doesn't just hurt her, it hurts her fan base too. The young girls who idolize her are now being told their idol was never real to begin with, just a tool in a sinister system. That betrayal leaves scars. Jaguar Wright's warnings may be messy, but they resonate because they touch on a fear we all have, that the stars we support are just puppets, and that behind their smiles are contracts written in blood. Tyla's name might still shine for now, but the question is how long before the lights go out completely?